Gentlemen, let me ask you something honestly. Do you really believe that once a man reaches this stage of life, the only way to attract women is by having a fortune, driving luxury cars, or looking decades younger? If that's what you've been told, it's time to let go of that belief. It's one of the biggest myths society has repeated to men for years. The truth is, there is something much more powerful than money or appearance. In fact, most men over the age of 60 already possess it. The problem is that very few know how to use it to their advantage. When you finally understand how to unlock it, women, including younger women, begin responding to you in a completely different way. And no, it has nothing to do with plastic surgery, expensive watches, or miracle pills. It comes from a simple habit that takes only about 12 minutes a day. Stay with me, because today I'm going to reveal a practical technique that can completely transform the way women see you. While many men spend their later years exhausting themselves trying to compete in battles they were never meant to fight, you'll discover how to create genuine attraction naturally, without forcing anything or trying to impress anyone. Before we continue, take a second to support the channel. If you're ready to rebuild your confidence and attract women through authenticity rather than manipulation or mind games, hit the like button and leave a comment telling me where you're watching from. I always enjoy seeing viewers from different parts of the world. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Every week I share science-based insights about attraction, masculine confidence, healthy aging, emotional strength, and maintaining both your physical and mental vitality after 60. Topics that many professionals rarely discuss openly. Now let's address one of the biggest lies men have been hearing for decades. Society loves to convince men that after turning 60, they become invisible to women unless they own a Ferrari, sail on a luxury yacht, or look like a retired movie star. But that couldn't be further from reality. I've worked with countless men in their 60s and even 70s who naturally attract women 20 or 30 years younger. Surprisingly, their success has very little to do with wealth, status, or cosmetic enhancements. Instead, it comes from understanding the emotional and psychological side of attraction. Here's what many men overlook. Women aren't lacking attention from younger, physically attractive men. Most receive more attention than they could ever want. What many of them actually crave is emotional maturity. They're exhausted by insecurity, emotional instability, and men who constantly seek approval or try too hard to prove themselves. Ironically, this gives older men an advantage they often fail to recognize. You already have qualities that many younger men haven't developed. The only issue is that nobody ever taught you how to use those qualities effectively. If you're new to the channel, I'm Dr. Jocelyn Carter. For the past 5 years, I've dedicated my work to men's health, confidence, and relationship psychology, helping men restore their vitality, strengthen their self-confidence, and improve both their dating lives and personal relationships. And here's a truth that many people don't like to admit. Men over 60 possess a hidden strength that younger men simply cannot duplicate. Why? Because younger men are still searching for validation. They're still trying to discover who they are, earn respect, and prove their value to everyone around them. You, on the other hand, have already lived through challenges. You've experienced setbacks, celebrated victories, learned difficult lessons, and gained wisdom that only time can provide. Those experiences become one of your greatest advantages. They create the difference between a man who constantly chases approval and one who remains calm, grounded, and emotionally secure. So what is the secret that changes everything? It's a mindset known as outcome independence. Once you truly adopt this way of thinking, your entire presence begins to change. Women naturally notice the difference because your energy becomes calmer, stronger, and far more attractive. But before we explore that concept, let's first examine the 3 biggest mistakes many men over 60 continue making and what they should be doing instead. The first mistake is chasing instead of attracting. Many older men still approach dating the same way they did decades ago. They try to impress women, prove their worth, or buy attention with expensive gifts and generous spending. Unfortunately, this strategy rarely works. Women recognize desperation almost instantly, much like a predator sensing weakness. That needy energy immediately reduces a man's attractiveness because it communicates insecurity rather than confidence. Beyond that, it wastes valuable time, emotional energy, and often a significant amount of money. A far better strategy is developing outcome independence. Instead of constantly seeking approval, invest your energy in creating a fulfilling life of your own. Build meaningful hobbies, maintain your health, strengthen your friendships, and enjoy your independence. When a man genuinely enjoys his own life, something interesting happens. Women become curious about him. They're drawn toward his calm, confident presence because he no longer appears to need validation from anyone. The second mistake is attaching your self-worth to female attention. The moment a man begins asking himself, "Am I still attractive?" or "Do women still find me desirable?" he unknowingly gives away his confidence. From a biological perspective, constantly seeking validation increases stress hormones, making a man appear anxious, tense, and emotionally reactive instead of relaxed and self-assured. Emotionally, it also prevents authenticity because he starts performing instead of simply being himself. A healthier mindset is recognizing that your value isn't determined by anyone else's opinion. Appreciate your life experience, your resilience, your independence, and the wisdom you've earned over the years. When a man carries that quiet confidence within himself, women notice it almost immediately. They don't see someone begging for approval. They see someone who has options, values himself, and chooses relationships from a place of confidence rather than need. That kind of emotional stability is incredibly attractive. The third mistake is competing in battles you were never meant to win. Many men in their 60s try to outperform younger men by desperately chasing youth. They dye their hair, wear flashy outfits, buy expensive accessories, or attempt to recreate the lifestyle they had in their 30s. But here's the reality. You're no longer 35, and that's not a weakness. In many ways, it's one of your greatest advantages. Women aren't biologically programmed to seek youthful, immature energy forever. Many are far more attracted to qualities like emotional stability, quiet masculine confidence, wisdom, reliability, inner strength, and the calm presence of a man who truly knows who he is.